We're live. Hello, friends. Hello, everyone. This is Kathleen with Transform to Wellness with Holistic Nurse Kathleen, and I am here today with Toni Sockerman, and she's with Suffer Quickly. She is amazing. So, I'm going to say a little bit more, but what I wanted to say first is what we're talking about today. We all have it. I mean, it's always here. And it's living with resistance, why we avoid the things that matter. And here's the good news. It can be beaten, but it's going to be beaten a moment at a time because it's going to keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. So just in saying that, and Toni and I, we're like two peas in a pod, but we're in different pods on the same vine because she's more philosophical and I have another background. But Toni is, she's raw, she's real, she's a creator, she's a writer, she's an artist, she's a painter. I mean, a fantastic person. Please go read her articles and subscribe. So anyway, welcome, Toni. So good to see you.
Thank you, Kathleen, for this amazing introduction. Wow, you said it all better than maybe I could even say. I'm not sure that I deserved all of that. It's nice to be here. And the moment you have told me about your theme, resistance, I mean, we know each other. We talk, here and there about important stuff, important things in the world. And resistance, of course, for us creators, for us thinkers, it's the wall we hit every morning we wake up, right?
Right.
I love the question that you have stated. You said, why do we avoid things that matters that matters the most to us? Yeah, I mean, I was thinking a lot about it, before.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say we want to self-preserve as number one. You see, we all have this awareness about our abilities, about our talents. And somehow on the road, we have established this emotional relationship with this ability, with our ideas.
Mm-hmm.
I myself, I'm a multidisciplinary artist. As you have already said, I paint, I write. Since recently, I do art performances in front of 100 people. One time I did it. I go to Toastmasters, the public speaking groups, and ideas for me are like my children. And I'm the great creative mother, and mother, she loves her children. She wants to protect them. She overprotects, she wants to confront them, come to them with this perfect love, which I do when it comes to my ideas, And this is exactly where I delay, where I postpone, where I resist, because not every day I can come to them, to continuation with perfect focus, perfect love. So what I do, I don't want to ruin them. This is where the resistance kicks in. Like, don't do because you may spoil. Wrong. That's completely wrong, because it's like the projects become this emotional ticking bomb,
Mm-hmm.
So, but the resistance, it's not against the work, right?
Right. I mean, I think, we've been talking about this for a few weeks. Resistance, there's so many like symptoms of it. You've heard of the symptoms like procrastination, self-doubt, fear, isolation, criticism, rationalization, all of those things. I've noticed that with me, that the resistance, anytime, and I'll give you some, and I would love you to give some examples of what's in your life as well, that, when I try to do something that's really important to me, well, something happens, the phone rings, somebody needs something technologically doesn't work. It like tries to keep us from doing what we want to do. And the thing is, it's universal. It happens to every single one of us, right?
Yes, absolutely. I believe that the biggest problem is that we're trying to identify with our work too much. You see, we think that our work is us. I'm an artist, and that this is the trap, I have to defend this every single day because this means something. When you're an architect, when you're a doctor, you have to defend, what this means. And the truth is that we are this walking consciousness. We are this walking awareness. And our work is the expression of the greater creator,
Right.
So you see, we shouldn't take our work, our projects so personally. We should just let them flow. We shouldn't we shouldn't think that our identity depends on it.
Right. And that's part of the procrastination too. It's like because of perfection. Well, what's perfect? Well, what is perfection? I don't know. I always say we should scratch words out of the dictionary. I think it's, you know, talking about perfection to me is like if we get nervous before we do a live or get nervous before we do something, it's because we care. We want to give our best. We don't want to say mess up, but that's being human, right? It's being human. So sometimes we put whoops. So, sometimes we put off things that we really, really want to do because we want to be perfect, but there's no such thing as perfection.
You can't. Yes, I believe like what you're saying, because I know you, and I believe you want to bring your message to the world, right? And you want to do it as best as you can. And this is scary, because the moment something is so important to you, it becomes scary. It
Yeah.
scares you away. It happens to me all the time. Like the peak of my resistance was, I guess, 6 years ago when I got my diagnosis, for my respiratory illnesses. And yeah, I was terrified, and then I needed to self-preserve again, but it was the best kind of justification.
Yes.
Like, I'm sick. This means I shouldn't be so hard on my body or on my mind. I would just rest, which is true, but it's a trap. Lately I figure out this is my biggest strength, because now I'm raw, now I'm wounded, I'm at the peak of my emotional and psychological, boom boom.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
now is the moment where I maybe say the biggest truth ever. So just so this is how I came to Substack, actually. This is how Suffer quickly came to life, to turn your hardship into purpose. And I believe that any hardship, if you let it be, it can guide you somewhere. It can open something new. You know how I call it. I
Yeah.
call it to grow from the wound. And you have lived this all your life, right?
Right. And the thing is too is that, I've heard a couple things like people they say that, the hardest part isn't writing the story or writing the note or creating or painting or whatever. It's sitting down to start it. It's getting started in it. And the thing was, when you talked about healing or illness, they were saying that, about resistance and healing. They'll say, well, you got to heal first before, say, you can be a coach or before you can write or before you can help others. No, it's through that experience that you live that you're able to do that. Because if you haven't walked that fucking walk, how in the hell can you help anybody? So you got to heal first? No. What are we trying to heal? And it's like you said, some of best, our best, all of our best, I think, creativity comes from illness, disease, grief, and pain. It comes from that. And that's how we learn from it. When my nephew took his life, April 2025, gunshot wound to the head. I mean, normally I would not destroy me, but I would be crying and all that. And the family was like, "You're doing pretty good. Why?" I started writing, and I came out with a 5-day grief reset. Not to sell it or anything. I'm not saying that to sell. I'm saying it because the writing helped me understand what was going on inside me, because then it brings up prior grief, right? Because we always carry it with us, The other thing, and I want you to say something. Someone said this to me, and I don't know who originally said it, but it's something that I really need to learn, because I look at the end point. Here's what I want, and it's not a win until I hit here, right? I don't look at the process. And they said purpose is expressed, or I'll say wins. Purpose is expressed in moments, not the end point. So each moment from here to here is my purpose, my win, my whatever we want to call it. And I'm like, I need to look at it more that way. And I wish I had known it 50 years ago, that it's in the moment, right?
Wow. I love it what you said. Yeah, this hits hard what you said about your nephew, and how you have recognized in the moment. Yeah, I mean, it's always about the continuation, no matter what happens to us, we can resist to continue, but what happens, we still do. We still go on. Because this is the point of life. No matter what hits you, you have to go on. You can delay it, but this inner urgency is knocking on your door every single day. To me, every morning and every evening, it keeps me awake. It says, hey, your moral excuses as your illness, Toni, we both know. We both know this is not the truth of your life. You're a messenger. You're a herald. You have a message to bring to the world, whether it's good or bad. You have you know how to shape it. You have your platforms, whatever. It can be writing, it'll be painting, Substack, whatever. It doesn't matter. But we have to go on no matter what. And resistance, she will try to stop it, but we always win because this is in our nature. So
Yeah.
we should stop fighting it so hard.
Yes. There's a person on here, his name, it's Coach DJ. Hello. It says, a good day. Not sure if this is off topic, but I see this procrastination and resistance in my youth soccer players. They all struggle to focus on practicing outside of our training sessions. They're just stuck and don't have the skills to choose to work at home to help themselves improve, and I can't do it for them.
Yeah. Nobody can do it for you. I mean, in young people, I don't know, is it harder when you're young or when you're older? I think it doesn't really matter. I think it's what matters is what leads you on, like whether you have that inner sphere that shows the way or you're not. But this is why you have to become the detective, and you have to investigate all the things around you, whether it's sorrow, whether it's love, doesn't matter what it is. You have to find your path, your portion in it, and try to build something from it. Even if it's sports, you have to be led by something greater than you are. This is why I say we are not what we do. We are this consciousness. We are this expression of the greater creator, and we are lucky to be able to create in this world. And when we really take this in, this is when resistance will, she'll fall down. I don't know how you say that. I remember that one story when you told me about your beginnings of your career. I would like you to tell this to people, because I was I was really moved by it.
Yes. Well, to become a nurse, you have to go to school and then you have clinicals. And I was in Atlanta, Georgia. And to be honest, I'm scared to death of hospitals, but it was my calling. It's not my only calling. I believe we have more than one calling. People will say, well, this is my calling. No, at that time, that was my calling. At this time, there's enough, and so anyway. So it was hard. And so there was one place I did not want to go. It was Grady Memorial Hospital. And Coach DJ says, thank you, Toni.
Thank you, Coach DJ.
But, so it was the hospital I didn't want to go to. I didn't want to drive downtown. I don't like elevators. And I was already very nervous. So where did I get drawn for clinicals? Grady Memorial Hospital. Where did they freaking put me? On the 13th floor, right? I'm nervous, my heart, I'm sweating, I'm having irritable bowel stuff going on. I mean, I almost quit. I almost quit during clinicals. And I'm like, can't you send me somewhere else? And it's like, no. And I'm like, but I told my mom, I can't do it. I can't do it. She says, honey, you can. So going down to Grady in Atlanta, Georgia, and that was 30 years ago. Is traffic in Atlanta is horrible. And then getting to Grady in this huge hospital, and then I'm on they put me in neurology first, 13th floor. So I have to go up an elevator, and I'm kind of a little claustrophobic, not bad, but I'm an elevator, 13 floors, 2 floors is good, but 13. sweating, palms sweating. I, hope I get there before I have to go to the bathroom again. And then, it was a community hospital. So they didn't have what you needed. And the charts, you could never find them. And there were supplies weren't there. And then to get the meds, you had to go back down the 13 floors to the basement to get the meds. And this was all day long. So I decided I would try it. What can I do? I have to try it, right? If it kills me, I guess it kills me, right? I mean, because you think you're having a panic attack and your heart's pounding. And if you've ever had that, it's terrible. So what happened was, and there was a lot of good that came out of that because I learned how to do things without the supplies being there. So I had to be creative and make it so it worked when I did wound care or when I did a certain thing. So how I really made it through it was this. Before I walk in, I do this for 26 years working in a hospital. When I got to the door, sweating, feeling like I got to go to the bathroom, I dust off my feet and I say, it's about them. This is about them. This is not about me. And when I got goosebumps, when I think about others and their suffering and their pain and what they're going through, and they got to be scared as hell too, right? Think about them, take my mind off myself, and I was able to do all my clinicals, go to everywhere they needed me to go throughout clinical, and I became a registered nurse. I thought it was going to kill me. I did, Toni. I didn't think I was going to be able to do it.
This is incredible. It's like you were so young,
Mm-hmm.
but like the moment when you have said, this is for them and not for me, you have inhabited your higher role. I see it as that, this is where I think this is the moment where you have beaten the resistance, the highest lord or the resistance for sure, because yeah, you have become it, it's not just about you, it's not just about us,
No.
like I see that my greatest mistake is I often think this is my work, my pride, my art. No, it's not. It's just, like I said, I'm just a channel, it goes through me for the world. Why? I don't have to figure it out today. When I'm trying to figure it out today, this is where resistance, where I delay, where I postpone, because I'm afraid to ruin what I have, because I know that I have something good, like, look, I think well, yeah, and then one sentence is great and the other is afraid of that great one because it may ruin it. But what happens, you can't have one standalone. You have to trust in the big project.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think my greatest breakthrough happened, and this, I was writing about it when I had my live art performance.
I was about to bring that up. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. I'm not sure what I want to say about this, but maybe it will come to me. I had a point, but it may go away, but it doesn't matter. I remember, yes, like I was so afraid of it. And of course, resistance 1 month before, because it was part of a bigger project. And it was known that there will be hundreds of people on this particular streets, the Ilitsa project, right? And I came there, I was going to perform. I'm going to walk for the city as a wound, as a sick animal. And my face was painted black. And I have stripped my own identity. People, they identify me as an artist, as a pretty woman, whatever. That was stripped. That was gone. I was bare naked. And I was in the pain. And then comes the switch. Pain has become painkiller.
Mm.
And what happened? The moment I had started, there were dirty looks. People were looking at me. What is this? What the, word? I felt no shame.
Yeah.
You know why? Because I have inhabited my life. I wasn't living the theory anymore. I was living my destined life. And this is where resistance has nothing to do with. She doesn't exist. I was walking and I wasn't thinking about my career and what this does for my art career. No, this was the moment of total recognition. This is you. And you don't have to survive. You just have to be.
You beat it. You beat the resistance by doing it. That's the thing I want people to know is that every single day, and I will point this out, and it's been said before, resistance is greatest at the finish line of everything. It's really hard in the beginning, right? very hard. But really, right before you're going to, but the finish line, they were talking about, and you probably read or heard this too, that like, I can't remember his first name, but Armstrong, he had cancer and he won like the triathlon or whatever with cancer. That's beating that is beating resistance. There's and the thing is, it happens every day, and it is hardest at the finish line before you're gonna. I mean, you're definitely a writer, and so when you were doing that project and everything, how things were like towards the end, it was things like this would go wrong or that would go or not go the way that you had planned, and you just found another way, and you just did it. It was amazing. I saw the pictures on Facebook, YouTube, and all. It was, I mean, it was amazing.
It was natural. That's the thing, when you do something that is natural for you, there is no resistance. But we have to that this is the moment of recognition, you know. And I love what you said about resistance is hardest at the end. And you know why is that? Because beginnings are always sexy. They are full of hope.
Yes.
You start something, you see, oh, this may turn out like this or like that. And when we're coming to an end, when the reality bites, it hits, it says, "Oh, this might be finished," and now comes the feedback from the outer world. So whether we have thrown this anchor into the world,
Mm-hmm.
and made some impression, or we didn't. Uh-huh. So if we didn't, that hurts, So this is what invites resistance at the beginning. This kind of thinking. You start something, and you think already to the end. How someone will react to it. Like, of course, this is my problem. Like, it's always like this. I want to write that book, and I'm thinking already like, these and these people, or these people here. Like, okay, it's like only 13 of them, but like, they might be. Oh, they might be, this important or that, whatever, So this is how we actually kill ourselves. When in fact, I think we all search the same things. We all have exactly the same problems. And just being here in Substack, I mean, we all want something greater for ourselves and for the world, right? So yeah, I think it's a good becoming,
It is. It is.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I have an example too, like with the healing part, and I look at it more that way. I mean, philosophical, but I've got another example. So I was in massage school, and I had severe plantar fasciitis. So that's the bottom of the foot. And I mean, just to get out of the bed to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, I had to put tennis shoes on. I could not walk. And it was my right foot. And I noticed after I found out what it actually was, when I go to move forward in movement, it seems like I always start with my right foot. Right, left, right, left, right, left. Hi, Randy. So I'm just writing something down really quick. So yeah, I had to write something down real quick. So
Always.
so for about a year, I'm like, I had it before I started massage school. I started massage school, and one of the instructors, he's like working with me, says, you just need to get a student to work on you because this is, psychological, it's psychosomatic. And I'm like, I believe that then, but not like I believe it now. And I'm like, what do you mean? I'm having really pain. I mean, it's so painful. And he says, I know. And we know mind body connection, right? We know that. And I figured out what it was. So for a fucking year, I suffered, Toni. I mean, it hurt to walk. I prayed about it. I laid my hands on my foot. I did the ice roller thing. I did everything, got massage. It would not go away. And he said to me, this is key. There's something in your life that you're avoiding, or there's something that you're not addressing, and it's keeping you stuck. Because remember, when we walk, that's movement, right? When we move forward, sideways, backwards, we got to step. Well, actually, there was, and I wasn't telling anybody about it. And there was a decision I needed to make, and it was a hard decision. And I just, for a year, I wouldn't make it because I was afraid. What if? The resistance. What if I go this way and that's the wrong decision and I should have gone this way, or, vice versa? I swear to you, as my witness, you could ask my mom. When I made that decision, within 24 hours after a year of really, I was suffering, it went away. It was gone completely after I made the decision. And I'm like, why the hell did I not make that decision, 11 months and 30 days ago? But I had to learn. And then I was just walking, just like, swear to you, no pain at all, zero. That's resistance. That's psychosomatic. That's body mind.
We're not even aware what we are doing to our physical bodies. I know it too. Like my illness, like problem started 2014. Like that's, and I'm like, I have felt now through time, like I won't go into details, but I have felt through time that this is my spiritual purging. All of this, also respiratory, all of these, things, medication. Okay, I have to take medication. Doesn't matter right now, but this burden, I have withdrawn it, and I have to carry it. But like to understand it how it came, like you did. You have manifested your pain because you weren't able to make the right decision for yourself, which your every single cell in your body knows what you have to do. Your mind, everything, your consciousness. Like, why are you refusing to enter your life? Why? Why are we doing this? Why?
It was fear. It was fear of making the wrong decision. And I'm a person that has like too many options. It's like, why can't I just have 2 or 3? Why do I have to have 10 options? I don't want 10 options. I've asked things. I don't write with Chat GPT or anything like that, but I put, ask it and get not even ideas, but, talk to it sometimes. And, I say I have, too many options. I don't know how to make a decision. And it gives you, I argue with ChatGPT, but and when sometimes it'll give you too many options. I'm like, don't give me that many options. Only give me 3. Let me pick from 3. A lot of times, like even like we're doing SEO or title search, because we want to have a good title. I always say, what's best for the audience? How can they connect? And then second, SEO optimization and all of that, right? Because it's more, I care more about the human, and I know that, AI will read it and it'll give me 10. I'm like, don't give me 10. Give me 3. And then I don't like any of those. And then sometimes you end up, coming up with your own. But I think it's fear. And I think that, we want to, I know I want, I want to do the best I can. And, it's a lot of pressure, but aren't we really doing the best that we can? I mean,
we are trying. I believe, especially in this contemporary world, we all want to simplicity, right? But to come to simplicity, you have to go through trials. And we have come to an age when to have more good options is a problem. It happened to me, like when I had to choose between working as an artist in theater, like stage artist in painter in theater, or would I be feel good manager in IT, or will I start my own business? Yes, imagine what a problem, right? And I was actually very depressed because of it, and I was like, why do I have so many options? The abundance has become problem.
yes.
This is how we resist abundance, and this is why we suffer as well. I'm really happy that you have said it, and this cannot be discussed in one session only. I think after this conversation, I'll just have to go write soon because of the things that we have opened. Yeah, and it's scary. It's scary to touch on the important things. When you start doing projects, or when you enter, some important things, and you have important message to say to the world, what happens? Responsibility.
Yes. I know you talk about a lot about that. I read it in one of your articles. We're responsible.
But that's the problem. Do we really want all this responsibility? Not really. But then is this inner urgency. She wakes you up. She gives you your nervous problems and everything. So that's all also resistance. Urgency is resistance, but this is our drive. This is your fuel. And I have rediscovered myself. Like I have learned so much in the last 2 weeks. That's why I'm doing these art performances. I go to public speaking. I'm afraid of everything. I was shaking before this live. Like my asthma, my bronchiectasis, my chronic bronchitis, my everything. Medication. But like I went through it, and now it's like, okay, okay, so you're here. Okay, you put yourself a little bit into your destined life every day. This is how I would say, you overcome the resistance. Just give yourself enough love. Don't expect that you're gonna solve your why and everything in 1 week, because you won't. Not even 1 decade. Like,
Yeah.
come on. Not even maybe in 20 years. Like, it doesn't matter, if you don't deal with everything in this form, in this expression, this lifetime, you're gonna in another. That's what I believe.
Yeah.
This is my belief. I'm not. I, it has nothing to do with religion. It has to do with expression of the consciousness, and
Yeah.
just let your consciousness be vital. This is the vitality. It's not how you call it. Whether I call myself artist or feel good manager, whatever. It's what I do. It's how I feel and how I feed my inner vitality. I think that's what matters the
Yeah.
most.
And you did something huge. I mean, I'm just like in awe of what you've done as far as the country that you moved from. Can I say your native country? Croatia. It's so beautiful in Croatia. Oh my God, it's so beautiful. I've seen the waters. My niece has gone there. Anyway, you moved to Germany, not with
By
you
myself.
uh, did, and you do know German, but you moved there, to do what your passion was. You know what I'm saying? You moved there and you left some, well, definitely, what will we call it? Where we're complacent and we feel comfortable. You went to an un you came out of comfort to discomfort to get to do what you wanted, and with less, with less. Where there, it would have been different, right? Things you were in the art school, you were teaching all these things that you were doing, right? And then you left that to come to Germany to do what you wanted to do, and your whole life changed. One thing I'll say is I know that when I lost everything and was rebuilding, I mean, I lost everything. Um, at 27, when I started to rebuild, just putting, gas in my car, I felt like a millionaire, and get something to drink or something. Having less was so much more powerful than having more. I'm not saying we shouldn't have more. The more I have, the more I want to give away. But to go back to the point, you left the comfort of your country, family, friends, a job, income, everything to this unknown, even though you knew Germany, right? You obviously probably knew people there. You didn't know anybody.
I will tell you.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I didn't want to break you up. Like I want
No,
to
no,
say,
Brett, stop me anytime.
I'm laughing because, like, yeah, when I left the country, I didn't come here because I didn't have nothing. Nothing was promised for me. No job, no nothing. And people usually they switch countries so they can, step up. In my case, I had my MA degree in my pocket, and I came here straight to work in a restaurant. So I had two jobs, in a week. I was working two shifts, and in the evening when I was going to German school, and teaching German. So this was my beginning. And in that same moment, I was diagnosed with cervical cancer, which went
Mm.
fine, and it just started. But then it was this thyroid business. Then it came lungs. It was one to another, to another, to another, to another. I have lost all the bits of my former identity. I have lost the love. Everything, the friends. You were alone in this country, but back then I was like, I'm lost, everything is gone, but it was the best part of my life. This is what I recently was writing about. It's called the voluntary burning. I had to burn myself up completely, and some by my decision, but it was the greater will. This was necessary. Like a
Yeah.
phoenix, it was necessary. And I felt such a shame, because I always held high for myself. I have so many degrees and whatever, languages. And look at me. I was collecting cigarette butts, serving coffee to some people who had no idea who I was. But this is where I learned everything. This is where I cope with everything. I say, Toni, if you have done this, nothing can deconstruct what you are here. You can get sick, you can lose your job, you can lose your family, everything but nothing can destroy that center. And this is when everything starts opening to me. And I still I live in a shitty apartment. I have nothing. I have no possessions. I was never interested in possessions, but I have everything. I live in abundance. And of course, I do resent myself when I'm ungrateful and I search for more. But that's because, I'm blind to see my own abundance. That's my problem. But I'm working with it. But that Germany life, yes, this is something. This is a story. I say, what is the point of the life? To tell your story to the world, and that's what I want to do. I have something to tell. And the more the bad stuff, the story is better.
Yes.
People want to identify, by it. And with me, there's no more restraints. I care so much that I don't care anymore. If you can understand that, pain is the painkiller. That's what I say. That's what it comes from me. My pain is my painkiller in the end. And pain is shame. It's suffering. Lose of identity. It's all of it. We're all phoenixes. Let yourself burn. Burn voluntarily. And this is what I'm going to end with.
Very good. It's very good.
It's tough.
It is really good. I do want to say one thing though. What you do very well. I mean, your writing is, your expression. I mean, it's just unbelievable. I do want to say one thing about. I'll end on this one with resistance, and they talk about it, resistance and isolation. Because you said when you got there, you were alone, but then we're never really alone. And I looked this up. I had to look it up because there's some things I don't. We don't know everything, right? So we're never alone because, in the beginning, there were tribes, and, we're comfortable in the tribes, right? We're comfortable when maybe not comfortable, but sometimes I'm not comfortable around a lot of people. Now I'm getting out because I do want to be alone. But I was reading this and I had to look it up, and it's like, we're never alone because of our muse. And I'm thinking, muse, okay, well, I need more explanation on it. And I'm just going to read it because it explains it better than I could. And it says, a muse can be a deeper part of ourselves, the part that knows before the mind does, the part that whispers, nudges, or won't let something go. I love this part. It's often the unexpressed self. Even though we express ourselves, there's part I know I hold back because I don't think people can fucking handle it. You know what I mean? I just don't think they can handle it. So it's often the unexpressed self, the wounded but wise part, the intuitive voice beneath survival mode, the part of you that says, there's more here. Pay attention. And then it talks about, external muses, like a person, a lover, a teacher, but it misses something important. Those, you're going to love this, Toni. After we talked, I found this. Those things don't create inspiration. They activate what's already inside.
Exactly. Abundance, like I said. You are born abundant. You just have to learn to see it and handle with it, and not resist it because it's scary. I know it's scary. Like I said, there's a possibility that we all can do very important things in the world, and that's what scares us shitless. This part, is this Stephen Pressfield?
No.
Because he was talking about muses. I was like, it's
no, I didn't. Yeah, no, it wasn't him.
It's beautiful, and it's so true. And it's true.
Yeah, I thought it was really interesting. And it says a muse doesn't always feel inspiring. Sometimes, just what we're talking about, sometimes it feels like discomfort. This is our muse, right? Within ourselves. This is why we're not alone, because we have what's in us. It's, we're more than one dimensional, two dimensional, three dimensional. I think we're beyond that even. A muse doesn't always feel inspiring. Sometimes it feels like discomfort, grief, resistance, or a quiet dissatisfaction you can't explain. That's not dysfunction, that's depth asking to be heard. So, yes, a muse can be you remembering yourself.
Shivers, I love it. I love it. We gotta
You know?
discuss this later. Yes, I love
Yeah.
it very much. It's
I want to do, I'd love to do more live. I mean, resistance, it's every day. It's always, it's not personal, it's not personal. It's every single living, breathing person. Probably animals in nature as well. And they know how to live in it and adjust, I was reading about trees. I won't even go into that discussion, but yeah. So I think, but the thing is, it can be beaten, if we want to say that way, because we're living through it, right? Unless we just give up and die or just don't do it, and I mean, then we're not beaten, but we're living it every day, in a lot of different circumstances, and we both come from that, I mean, everybody has, but I think we've had a lot of trials and things in both of our lives, and
There'll be a lot of them.
yes, yes,
There'll
there will
be a
be.
lot of them. And I believe, like, remember I said something about silence. I don't remember what I said, but I said, like, she's, yeah, like silence, how do you feel resistance when you're silent, right? That says everything. This is where you're going to get all your answers. Try to be silent and be comfortable with it.
Yeah, and I've tried it. I try it. If I have told you before, if say, because I was listening to something that you had sent to me, and I can't say his name correctly. Is it Elkhart Tolle?
Eckhart Tolle.
Eckhart Tolle. Thank you. We heard of him in massage school too, and he's giving a speech, and it starts out, and I click on the link. I'm looking at the video, and I'm just sitting here going, and he's not talking. He's not speaking. He just sits there, and I'm like, my mind is going, why is he not speaking? When is he going to speak? And then I start feeling so uncomfortable, Toni. I mean, I don't know how the other people are here, and thank you for joining us. But I mean, you know, it was like over a minute, and I'm thinking, okay, I'm uncomfortable. I don't even know if I can watch this, But when I plan it, like I'm going to go sit on the couch. I'm going to go inside. I'm going to let that stuff come up, whatever it is, and I'm going to address it. When it's planned silence, I'm good with it. But that unplanned, and you were telling me why that happens, right? So, do you want to say why it happens?
I know what happens to Eckhart Tolle. Like, he's not speaking because he's receiving. He's not rushing when he's receiving. You see, he has no resistance. He's waiting to be channeled. That's it.
So those of us that feel uncomfortable in that, what do you think what would you say that was?
We're comfortable because we're impatient. We know that there is a lack somewhere for some reason, and we always believe that we have to go forward. So I have to talk, I have to move, I have to exercise, I have to make more money. That's it. Like, because we believe when we are in silence, when we say nothing or nothing, we don't bring value into the world, we don't matter. But that's not true. It's all the path, it's this, variable, that's fear. Like, it doesn't go just like, we don't have to, live like this.
Right.
We have to receive, and to be able to receive the abundance, whatever answers or good questions, you have to stay still, And like, I personally, I don't meditate, not in the way how people meditate.
Right.
For me, meditation is to have an ordinary day at home and just do my things, what I have to do, but like with such an awareness, that this ordinary day becomes your meditation. You don't have to put yourself like, I don't really believe in that stuff. To be honest with you, I have tried many things. No, yeah, just be.
Yeah. It's all day, every day, and you don't have to stop to do it. You're doing it throughout the whole day. Yeah.
You're living already, you're valuable already, just give yourself a chance to see it.
Yeah. That's wonderful. Well, I think I love this conversation with you. I think it's important in all our lives, because it is constant. We can beat it, and we're not alone. And I don't know. I just enjoyed this time together, and I hope that everybody's going to enjoy it on the live. And thank you everyone for being here. And then on the replay, is there any final thought? I mean, maybe you already said the final thought. There might not be. Yeah, you're done. You're done. Yeah.
I want to thank everyone who listened to this, but yes, we're going to have a replay, so it's my first time that I did live in this such manner, and it was actually pretty good. I'm very happy. And thank you, Kathleen, you're like a home, it's easy to do this with you.
Yeah.
So yes, I mean, it's not about sharpening our messages, it's just start, somewhere.
Yeah. With awareness.
Share. Yeah, share. Just share. We said how we felt about, our resistance.
Right. And examples. Yeah. Well, thank you, everyone. Thank you, Toni. I hope we have some more lives together. I'm really excited about it. And yeah. And Coach DJ said we're both very inspiring. Thank you. Yes. Thank you, Coach DJ. All right. Well, everyone have a wonderful day, and we'll see you later. All right. Bye-bye.